Right, good morning guys. It's just another video log, really, a photography and nature video log. I'm actually changing the all name of these to do with photography in helping treating anxiety and depression. It's what helps me, and I'm hoping that anyone that's really suffering with anxiety and depression, or any illness for that reason, that they will get a little bit of something from these. And it's not about just watching them. It's about, if you're struggling to get out of your house and you're really ill. Some people that follow me on Facebook are actually terminally ill with cancer. Now they can't get out of their house, so they struggle. So all the that I advise them to do is I advise them to put feeders up and try and do the best they can. I'll just pause a sec, guy, because there's a tractor coming past. It's gonna be loud. Yes, so if you can get some feeders up. Depending on what you feed, will all boil down to the species you get. If you want a bird like a goldfinch, then you want Niger seeds and stuff like that. And the other thing as well, guys, is don't make it easy for them getting seeds that have been took out the rusk as well. Get a few of them, but also get some that are in the rusk. They need to so especially at the end of summer, there's a lot of young birds, and they need to know how to deal with getting into these seeds and stuff, which the mum will show them, but they also need that. So just don't make it that easy for them. By putting seeds out that aren't in the rush, you're going to get them at far faster visits. They're going to come in, take as much as you want, they're going to go. Now this uplink's all about my trip today. Now I've come out this morning and I've been to 2 different locations. Now one of the locations is, I've been told by at least 4 different people now, birders, where there's a decent amount of hawfinch. Now I've been there this morning and I've had a look, and I think I may have seen one in the top of a tree, but there was far too much foliage in way, and the photos were pretty much impossible to get. Now it could have been it may have even been a crossbill. There's crossbills in there as well, so it may have been a crossbill. But what I've just witnessed is about 150 to probably a lot more than that. It's just 150 at one side of me. That's the bird, parakeet. Right then, so I've just had about 150, probably more, starlings at the side of me. I was photographing those starlings. Now those starlings, I love starlings. They're a beautiful bird. It's probably one of our country's most elegant birds, as far as I'm concerned. The colours are absolutely stunning, and when I was a kid they was common as anything, but now they're not that common. Now when I turned round, I was photographing the starlings. When I turned round and looked up, because I heard that noise you've just heard, a parakeet, there were 36 of them in one tree. 36. Never ever thought I'd witnessed that me in my life. Honest to God, I really didn't think I'd ever witness it. 36 parakeets in one tree. Now, it's not the largest number I've ever seen. I've seen far more than that. But the point is, now they're getting closer and closer to where I live, to be honest with you, because this is a decent catapult. I could probably reach this, and a good few's just come in. Probably about 15 or 16 birds have just come in, extra birds as well. Come in, so the numbers are growing all the time, and they're in here for I think the sycamore seeds, the helicopter ones that come down like helicopters when you were a kid. Now while they were sat in the tree, I heard a commotion from the parakeets and all the starlings, and they were gone. So and I thought it were the parakeets that had made them do it through the noise, and I had actually seen parakeets harassing him a little bit and chasing him off, so I thought it was that, but no, it weren't. I saw a puff of green feathers and a female sparrow come across, She must have come across. Well, I didn't actually see her coming. She must have come across the back end, and she'd gone up the tree, and boom, she'd hit it, and there was a puff of feathers, and all the other parakeets. That was the time I looked up and I saw it. She'd hit the bird, and all the other parakeets had come in to defend and help that bird really from attack. Now they pushed it away. It let straight go, and it was off, and it landed in a tree right at the side of me. Now, if you do photography and you do it from a car, you will understand what I mean. When you're in the driving seat of a car, you've got a sparrowhawk in a tree on your left hand side, but you couldn't get it through the window. It's kinda sorry, it's kinda in a tree here. So the thing what I'm saying is I couldn't quite get a photo of it unless it were through windscreen, and then the sun went behind a cloud, so the light dropped, which made it even harder because I'm messing about with settings knowing that sparrows are very, very skittish birds, and at any second it were going to do one, and then it just did its feathers up, and straight away the minute it knew that, I knew it were going to fly. So it's I stuck my head out at window, ripped a few shots off at whatever setting I were in. It were probably about 1600th of a second or something like that, ISO through roof. And photos have come out really dark, but on the other hand, I'm not that bothered about that because I watched it for a few seconds through the binoculars, and I actually saw the colour of its eyes in bright red, which tells me that it's an old sparrow, because the older they get, the darker their eyes get, the same as goshawks. Now I talking to one of the keepers that does the graves in graveyard, and he says that the sparrows are a regular sight in here now. He don't know why they're coming in here. I do, the starlings. He said he don't know why they're coming in here. He says he don't know why the parakeets are here. He says but they're making people happy, and people are coming in sad, upset, because they're coming to see family members that have died, and they're upset when they come, and a parakeet in a tree at the side of a family member that's passed away, it's going to make anyone smile. It really is, honestly. A lot of people are superstitious and they'll think that it's in that tree because the family members there. Nah, if that makes people feel better, let it be, you know what I mean? Someone's just said that to me. Someone's just said, oh, they go in the tree at the side of my dad, and my dad were a bird watcher, so I think that's why they go in that tree. And I actually said, yeah, he probably is that, love. I says, it's your dad's been buried in the side of at the side of a tree that's full of seeds as well, so that's another attraction to him. I wanted to let them know as well why they're also in that tree, but it were a nice thing for her to think that they were there because her dad were a bird watcher, and they'd come kinda to that tree for that reason, you know what I mean? It's not been a great year for myself, for personal reasons, for anxiety and depression. It's been terrible, to be perfectly honest with you. It's one bad news after another. But as for nature goes, it's been absolutely incredible. And I'm talking, I probably only ever had 1 year as good as it, and that were about a year after I started photography, when I was seeing hen harriers and montagoose harriers and pallid and stuff like that, all within about first year of me getting a camera. So photos were terrible, but I saw them, and I thought they were myths. When I was a kid, I'd never seen or heard out like that, you know what I mean? I thought they were myths. So it's definitely, numbers are definitely getting up, and I think all young are surviving because not much is predating on them. I don't think that sparrow were predating on it. I just think it were just saying to them, Nadine, you've just totally messed and undermined up there. So it just grabbed it with its talon, pulled a few feathers out of it, and let it know that it weren't happy with it, you know what I mean? But she was a big old female. But I'm telling you now, honest to God, one of them parakeets grabs her and she's in serious trouble with one of them bigs, because I've actually fed them in Fairport Woods with Brazil nuts that we had left over from Christmas, and honestly, it took it about, I'd say, no more than 2 minutes to crack that nut open and get that nut out of it and eat the old Brazil nut. They are really, really, really powerful beasts when it comes to bills. Long-tailed tits in here as well. Amazing little places. I'll show you a few images that I've managed to get today. It's this was just after the sparrow hit, so they were all ready to do one by that stage. Now that is the sparrow there, and they're really, really dark. It's a shame really, but I'll get it again at some point. That's just a small group of what I saw. Now these are the images that I'm quite happy with. They're lovely, they're sharp. We've got the old bird in. It's the light was a bit. If the light would have been like that, then it would have been a lot better. Now I'll put a few of these images up on my Facebook page, and I will also put a few images at the end of the YouTube blog. Now I ain't quite sussed the picture side of it yet, but I'm getting there with it. But what I'm aiming for is I'm aiming for all new outlook on my YouTube page, and it like I've just said, it's all going to be to do with photography and nature, or not even photography, getting out there and watching nature to help you with anxiety and depression. It helps me, and it helps me more than you'll ever know. I'm telling you now, there's been times when I've just really, really thought like giving up, but I get out and I see stuff, and it cheers me up. And even if it's only for a few hours a day, it's, you know what I mean, it's been a great help to me in many ways, to be honest with you. Now I see a couple of workers to do with anxiety and depression, and they've been great. They've done they showed me work. They've showed all my work off, and it's actually in the place where you go to when you go to get help for anxiety and depression. There's a big display there of my images that I took. But the problem is that the images from about 5 or 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and I've got a bit better since then. So I'd like to renew them, which I can do. They've told me I can do that, which I probably will do. But they absolutely love those images that I put, and they are good images. So, well, so you know, the people are really happy with me, and it stops people. People stop and look at them, even if they're rushing round and they say, I'm in a rush, and I've got, they'll stop and they'll look at them. Nature has that effect on people, you know what I mean? So if you're feeling down and you're depressed and you're suffering with any illness, really, I had a chap yesterday talking to me who was terminally ill with cancer, and he said he'd like to get out more. Nah, that's really playing on my head now. That is really playing on my head, to the point where he's coming out with me. I'm going to take him out into the Peak District. Honestly, I really am. I'm going to take him out into the Peak District, and I'm going to take him out and I'm going to show him bramblings and other stuff out there for one day. Just because, not because it gives me a sense of anything that is going to be better for me, because it's not. I enjoy my own company, but if it helps him, then it's worth doing, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you now, there's too many people about today who only think about one thing, and that's themselves, and it's very, very sad. So if you can get out there as well and watch stuff, if you can't get out there, get some feeders put up, be selective about the food that you've got. Have a look round first, see what birds you've got in your area. If it's blackbirds, don't forget blackbirds do not really like feeders, so they're going to feed on the ground. So make sure you put plenty of feed around the bottom of the base of the feeder. It may attract rats, but so what? Rats will attract tawny owls. Tawny owls eat rats. It's all a big circle. It's all a big circle of everything eats everything. So it's be selective about what you feed, and if you're getting birds like blue tits, great tits, and stuff like that, then put nuts out. They love nuts. But if you put nuts out, they will last far longer if you put them out all in a cage, in one of them cage feeders, because then they'll peck, and they have to peck a little bit soft, and then they'll come back, and it will keep them there longer than, say, if you put smaller seeds out where they'll come and keep taking them, and they'll keep just taking them, coming back, taking them, coming back. It's you really want something that's gonna do them good as well, and nuts are definitely a way to go. I personally think nuts, mealworm, and maggots. They love maggots. As a treat, they always get maggots on my garden. They always get maggots at some point, and they go ballistic for maggots. They love them. So that's just a quick uplink, guys, and I hope you enjoyed what I'm telling you and what I've got planned. It's I babble. I mean, I babble on a bit much, but I try and get as much information out to you as I can. Now at the minute, I'm trying to get photos of these starlings because I love starlings. They're beautiful birds. Now I will definitely be back for that female sparrowhawk. I've noted time. I've noted everything, and they're pretty much a creature of habit. They will have a patrol route that they use on more than one occasion, and they will use that patrol route to daily. They may change things up and come from a different angle, but it will more than likely it will be around about the same time. So it's definitely a bird I want as well. She's a beautiful female, really old, dark, lovely speckled chest, nice dark red eyes. She looked beautiful, really. So it's the other thing as well is that's the thing about having binoculars. Take your binoculars with you, because if light's terrible, you know for definite if you look through binoculars, at least you're getting a beautiful view of her. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll check you later. Have a great day, and I hope you all get out there and see some nature this weekend or whenever. See you later.